Hello and welcome back, guys. This time we are going to do the review of the Chelsea Club pack. As you can see, we have a lot of players from there. We had Chelsea Club pack a couple of weeks ago, but it was different set of players. Now we have this ones. First of all, we are going to start with Kante. As you can see, he is box-to-box midfielder, defensive midfielder. I would personally develop him to be more defensive than offensive. So off I go 90 defensive. Aerial is going to be like 75 his. Physical contact passing is going to be increased to 80, so he can have the pass. Dribbling, a little bit that he can have tight possession with the ball. The rest I would allocate on the speed and acceleration to 80, and the rest on the speed front. So this is how I would develop actually Kante to be defensive powerhouse, and with 90 defensive and tackling and a little bit of agility and speed, he would be absolute beast with stamina as well. So 94 with the boost, he's going to be 97, and yeah, perfectly positioned. He has double touch, cut turn, one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, man marking, interception, sliding tackle, acrobatic clearance, fighting spirit. With this, he can even be defensive midfielder, center midfielder. But yeah, I would use him defensive midfielder and post on him defensive, so he doesn't roam that much up front because he's box to box. I would personally I would develop him as an anchor man, so he can stay and collect those balls behind and no one can pass around him. So that is how I would do Kante actually. Next up we have Chilwell, who is offensive fullback, and as you can see, his stats are also good, but first of all, I like my fullbacks to have at least 75 defensive, so he can be good in defensive areas. Also, I like my fullbacks to have 75 physical contact, so they don't they can take the ball with ease. The rest I would allocate. Well, his dexterity is need to be go to 82, so he can have that light pace, and 84 I would go with speed as well. Dribbling I would increase a little bit, and the rest I will allocate on his passing, so he can have those cross and everything, and the rest that is allocated as well I will do on dribbling. So I would actually build him, even though he's offensive fullback, I would build him defensive wise, so he can have the capabilities of taking the ball, be good in defense and everything. So because I like my fullbacks to have more defensive capabilities than offensive, even though he is offensive fullback. So this is how I would do Chilwell, and as you can see, he can play also on the left midfield position, and it's 91 with this development. And as you can see, one touch pass, pinpoint crossing, long throw, interception, sliding tackle, acrobatic clearance, and that's it. His form is C, and he is standard form, so he's not unwavering, so that's the only downside of him. So the next stop is going to be Mudryk. Mudryk is left flank actually, and he can be in the midfield, and he has other positions to play, but they are not his main positions. So he is more for you to have someone on the flanks to go in the attack with. So I would actually do Mudryk to be As you can see, he has a lot of pace and he has a lot of dribbling, but he doesn't have tendencies to cross or anything. So I would do on him acceleration until his offensive awareness is 80, so 99. Lower body needs to be at least 75 kicking power, so 97 speed. So he is going to be speed merchant actually. Shooting I would increase to 75 as well. Passing I would increase to 75 as well. And the rest I would allocate on dribbling. And yeah, this is how I would do the Mudryke. Even though his physical contact is weak and everything, and he is mostly winger, he's not for you to play anywhere else on the pitch, and he has 96. With the boost, is going to be almost a 99 with this capabilities. 95 on the left midfielder, 91 as advanced midfielder. Yeah, he has double touch, cut, scotch move, soul control, long range drive, chip shot control, dipping shot, one touch pass, gamemanship, and super sub. Okay, coming from the bench and giving you this amount of speed is going to be unstoppable force, honestly. So he is a must-have player, honestly. He is C4 rated currently, and I don't believe that he's going to be anywhere near A form because Chelsea is not doing very well in the live action. Azpilicueta is going to be the next one that we are going to go with. And Azpilicueta is already defensive fullback. A little bit more on defending to 80 is going to be good. The only if you're not going to play him as a center back. If you're going to play him as a center back, then you need to go as an 85 at least. So on 80 front, aerial needs to be increased to 75 as well. Lower body needs to be 80. Dexterity needs to be 75. Sorry, 80 as well, because he is going to be a fullback. If you're going to play him as a center back, then dexterity can go to 75. That's good. So depends on what you are going to play with him. If you're going to play him as a center back, you don't need to touch the dribbling. If you're not, you need to go like this. Then passing needs to be increased if you're not going to play him as a center back. But if you're going to play him as a center back, then passing you don't need to touch. Dribbling you don't need to touch. You need to increase his aerial like this, and you need to increase his defending. So this is how you develop him as a center back. But if you're going to play him as a fullback, then then you go like this. So this is as the fullback. And honestly, he is a versatile player. He's going to have 90 as a fullback and 90 as a center back with this build. But if you build him more as a center back, he is going to have better stats on the center back position. One touch pass, long throw, man marking, interception, area superiority, sliding tackle, and captaincy. So yeah, that is how I would build Azpilicueta as well. Next up, we have Mendy, who is, I believe, offensive goalkeeper. And he has already good starting points with the goalkeeper, 80 reflexes. So with that in mind, he could be actually pretty much a decent shot stopper. As you can see, we're going to increase his to 90. And then we're going to increase this like this. and his goalkeeping awareness needs to be 90 as well. And this is how I would do Mendy. As you can see, he is 95. With the boost, he's going to be 9. With the boost, he's going to be 95. Sorry. So yeah, a decent player to have. And when he's in form, he is going to be going to do good job for you. He has extremely good height. He has high punt as a skill trait. 90 awareness, 90 reflexes, clearing 83, catching 83, goalkeeping reach. So yeah, he is going to be decent. But nevertheless, he's not going to be Courtois or anyone else. But yeah, he will do the job for you as well. Next up, we have Mateo Kovacic. He is also box-to-box midfielder, but he's more offensive box-to-box midfielder than defensive, like Kante, who is defensive actually midfielder. To be honest, I always switch to the wrong ones. So, like what we do with Kante is develop him into defensive, and this could be a good combination if you have two center midfielders, one like Kante, defensive oriented box to box, and then you have Kovacic, who is offensive oriented box to box. I would increase his defending to 75 or starts actually, area to be 70. Lower body needs to be 80, so he needs to have a little bit of speed like this as well. Dribbling, you don't need to touch with Kovacic. Dribbling, he already has great, so you don't need to increase that much anymore. You need to increase his passing, and that's it. This is how I would build Kovacic. To have defensive capabilities, but to have strong playmaker characteristics, so he can pass the ball, create, and be there. You don't need to have finishing with Kovacic. You're not going to shoot with him. Let's be honest. For you to have finishing with Kovacic, he needs to have at least 65 starting point to have a decent finishing, and kicking power needs to be at least 80 to have good capabilities of finishing. So he has Marseille turn, cut turn, heel trick, one touch pass, weighted pass, man marking, and interception. He is going to be 90, and I believe with boost he's going to be increased pretty much more than this. I don't believe he's going to be 90 all around. I believe he's going to be 92, something like that. So yeah, he is a decent player to have. And good partnership with Kante, who is going to be defensive, and this guy is going to be defensive. Or any defensive fullback, sorry, not defensive fullback, defensive midfielder is going to be good with capabilities of Kovacic as well. Next up, we have Pulisic, who is, I believe, another super sub in the Chelsea Mists. And yeah, he also has decent pace and everything, and decent dribblings. So, first of all, we are going to go with dribbling and pace. You need to have at least 75 kicking power for starters. Then you need to have at least 80 to 85 offensive awareness with him. Dribbling needs to go to like this front. Passing needs to go to 75, and the rest you allocate on finishing. And then you have a decent super sub as well with Christian Pulisic, who comes out from the bench and play as a other winger as well. So yeah, who plays on the wings? Pulisic as a super sub is a must-have, but who doesn't play on the wings? Pulisic is not the player that you want to have in your squads because, well, let's face it, most of the people online now plays meta without any wingers, without anything. Pulisic can play as a secondary striker, but this is not good enough for the secondary striker position. He is decent, to be honest, but not that all-around great. As a super sub, he will come from the bench, do pretty good jobs, but if you have Rafa Leao as a super sub on the same position, why would you need Pulisic as well? So all around decent player to have. This is how I would build him, but not the player that is going to give you any skill gap advantage or anything else. So yeah. And last that we have is Gallagher, who is another box-to-box midfielder, and Gallagher is more all-around box-to-box midfielder, not like Kovacic, who is more offensive, not like Kante, who is more defensive. Gallagher is all-around, and like that, I would develop him all-around to be as well. Defending needs to go to 75 front. Aerial needs to go to 75 front as well. Then we are going to increase his lower body to 75, dexterity to 75 as well. He's not going to be that speed merchant of anything like that. He needs to have 75 awareness as well, because let's face it, he is all around. And passing is the thing that he needs the most. Shooting, we're going to have to 72 front. And yeah, with 72 finishing, 81 kicking power, you have capabilities to have long range shooting with him. He has decent dribbling, he has decent passing, he has decent defending. He is built all around to cover both positions. Even if you want to sub Kante out, or any other defensive player you want to sub out, Gallagher will come in. If you have any offensive player, Gallagher will come in as a super sub as well. So yeah, that is how I would do. Cut turn, long range drive, rising shot, heel trick, first time shot, one touch pass, gamemanship and fighting spirits are the traits that he has. 91 on center midfielder, 89 on advanced midfielder. With this defensive capabilities of advanced midfielder, he will do extremely good job at pressing in the final third of the opponent. But yeah, all around Gallagher is all around player and decent player to have as a backup option, not as a first team option. But for who else plays the meta, he's not that great. You can put the additional skills on him and make him even slightly perfect. But yeah, all around, those players are like that. I would say it's good for the newcomers. This pack is good. You have two fullbacks, and one fullback can be centre back. You have a decent goalkeeper. You have one offensive centre midfielder, one all-around centre midfielder, one defensive centre midfielder, two wingers to have, and yeah. But the problem is you can only draw 3 players from this pack, so it's depending on your luck or anything. So guys, thank you for watching, thank you for being a lovely audience. We're going to see each other on the next videos as well. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, share and subscribe. Down in the comments, ask me anything. I'm live on Twitch every Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm a variety streamer now. I stream more sports games, and yeah, thank you. And see you in the next videos, guys. Bye bye, everyone.